into the evening with the gusty winds from our storm, which, by the way, is less than 200 miles away from us. Now, at least the center of circulation starting to lift north of the Bahamas now, and it is causing some pretty nasty beach and boating conditions. We have a high surf advisory, we have the wind advisory in effect along the coastline, the wind advisory for the Treasure Coast, and not the entire counties, really just east of 95, even areas like St. Lucie West and Tradition not in that advisory area. And we are looking at quick moving showers. So it could be an issue for the Dolphins pregame, and we are looking at those showers moving from the Treasure Coast into Palm Beach County. We had some big, heavy downpours earlier this morning for the morning commute. Thankfully, we haven't seen anything quite like that this afternoon. And into the evening, I think it'll just be spotty showers. There's a current wind gust just under 30 miles an hour. Not too bad. And there's another storm out there. This is Umberto, which, again, won't have any direct impacts on our area. They're about 500 miles apart. And, of course, I just showed you this storm here is about 200 miles from us. It made a close call, went right through the Bahamas on the weekend. That tropical storm watch that we had in effect for the Treasure Coast, that was discontinued at 5 p.m. yesterday. So it's just these kind of spokes of rain, little rain squalls working off this thing, even though it's moving away, pushing out a little bit of rain that we'll have to deal with this evening and tomorrow. There's the forecast track for it. Maybe a landfall in Bermuda on Wednesday. If it doesn't, it's going to have a big impact, and it's going to make a close approach on Bermuda. There's Bermuda right there. Hopefully you see that at home, and then it tracks off into the North Atlantic. We still have the tropical storm warnings in effect for the northwestern Bahamas, likely discontinued later tonight. And, of course, we have both these storms, and they're close enough that they're interacting. We call that the Fujiwara effect. I'm sure you've heard it on social media, where what happens here is because they're so close together, they actually try to pivot around each other, around a kind of a center point in between the two. So they're slowly turning like this, briefly anyway. And then the first one, Umberto, dragging the second one out into the central Atlantic. Pretty cool. You don't see that very often. It's happened a few times in the last few years, but usually it's storms that are way out in the ocean. All right, temperatures overnight in the 70s. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. Sunshine, but still the chance for showers. Storms, so gusty winds and 90 degrees. The winds start to taper off a bit on Wednesday with a few showers, and then we get into this pretty good rain chance pattern again, starting on Thursday and Friday and the weekend, with scattered to almost numerous showers and storms both weekend days.